So right now, do we look a little crazy? Yes. Is it gonna be worth it? So I typically like to start with a primer. So I'm gonna go ahead and prime my face with the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. And with this one, I just take a couple pumps in my hand and I just pat it all over my face. Since I'm an oily girl, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this Huda Beauty, and it's just a powder, and I'm gonna put it all over my face. So what this is gonna do is this is just going to basically hold my oil in. Some people like to do it before they put primer on, and some people do it after. I'm the after person. And I've also heard that it makes your makeup stay a lot longer. Once you do that, you're just gonna go in with your setting spray and you're just gonna spray it all over. And once you let that dry, then you're gonna go in with your brows. So brows have really changed for me. At first, I used to do them so scary. Like sometimes it's really hard for me to like look at old photos because I know like there's no way I was walking around in real life with brows like that. Like, I really tried to follow my natural line so that way I'm not like overlining. And of course I don't want pencil brows like you can see like right there, like sometimes I'll like mistakenly pull hairs down so it's really hard to see. And honestly, if you kind of mess up, like if you make it too big, you can always just make it smaller. I don't pluck my brows, so that's another thing. Like I have to kind of draw around it. Once I kind of fill them in, I'll go in with the NYX brow tint pencil and I just kind of like draw hairs because I don't want it to look too full. And this part takes a lot of practice to draw. Like we're gonna get it to look right. And then once you have like both brows done, you're going to take your NARS Creamy Concealer, or any concealer, but the one that I'm using is the NARS Creamy Concealer. You want to take a flat brush, and this is going to help you like carve out your brows. So even if you did make a mistake, you can just kind of like carve that out. You see how it's like the concealer is hiding like the hairs that I don't pluck, and then we're just gonna clean this up. And I don't like to really put too much concealer here because I don't want it to be like a halo brow. But I'll just kind of like clean it up a little bit. Sometimes if I feel like this is too harsh, I'll kind of just blend this up a little bit just so it doesn't look fake, you know what I mean? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna go ahead and start concealing. And I like to start with my eyes. And I like to just put some concealer there. I also like to put concealer in this area and concealer on my other eye. I'm also going to put some concealer down here just because I have really dark circles, so I want to like conceal them before I start concealing. Then I'm going to take my beauty blender. I didn't really do like a long dry time just because it's my eyelids. I only like to do a long dry time for like my under eyes. And this is such a close shade to my concealer or to my actual skin tone, so that's really, really good for what we need this for. I'm gonna add some powder to my eyelids. And we're gonna go ahead and just start focusing on the eyes. So I'm gonna take like a dab of powder on a puff, and that's going to serve as the base for the concealer. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with my Juvia's Place palette, and I'm going to take the darkest shade, so it would be the shade right here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna go ahead and smoke out my eye. So the reason why I want to do this first is because I want to go ahead and use my concealer to create like that lifted effect. And you'll see what I'm talking about here very soon. I like to use like my bronzer just as my eyelash shade, just so that way it kind of just blends all together and it's just not too much going on. It looks very natural. The color of my eyelids are actually very dark, so it works out perfect. So as you can see, like I'm kind of like dragging that down. And then we're gonna go in with like a fluffy brush just to kind of like blend everything out. Okay, we're going to take some concealer here. And then we're gonna create this line right here. Because we want it to go, do some right here. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, not gonna lie, I'm very nervous on how long I left that stuff on. Like, I just pray to God that this moves the way I need it to. So the next thing I'm gonna go in with is my NYX Sweet Cheeks. This is a cream blush. And we're just gonna go ahead and blush it up so that way it can kind of just like blend in with my actual concealer. I'm gonna go ahead and take this angled brush and that's what I'm gonna use to kind of blend it out. I'm gonna kind of like get it into the center a little bit too, just so that way it can really be under my actual concealer. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my bronzer, and the bronzer that I have is the Milk. I actually just got this one today. Oh my gosh. Like, look what just happened. This is brand new. I saw that in the reviews, like people said that that happened, so I gotta go back to Sephora. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take an angled brush and I'm gonna go ahead and just dab this into the bronzer and pray to God that it does what it's supposed to do. Let's see, look at this melt though. She looks good. She's stuck, but she looks good. All right, bronze her up. I definitely glued my wig too far down. My camera died, so that's why it probably is really weird right now. But I just put dots everywhere, and even though it looks like a lot, I'm probably gonna have to put more. I'm just gonna take my setting spray and spray it all together. And y'all, I'm still shocked that I'm still melting right here. I'm still like baking right here. But I'm gonna go ahead and just use the fluffy brush and just kind of lightly tap my foundation in. And since this foundation is very sheer, it's buildable. So before I go ahead and use more, I'm gonna go ahead and get this, hopefully this actually comes off, but we're gonna go ahead and blend this out. Let's do this together. I'm gonna try and get rid of this, what I did, because I should have not let that go that long. Okay, and you see how that lifted that? And then just because I had some spots that were not covered, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a fluffy brush and I'm just gonna dab. I should have did this originally with my concealer, but I totally forgot because it's a new step for me. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I kind of need like a little bit brighter of an under eye. So I'm gonna go ahead and use some of this e.l.f. Camo concealer. And this is in a very golden shade. And I'm gonna let that sit while I go back and we're gonna let it sit for a little bit, not like a lot like we did last time. I'm gonna go back in with the Danessa Myricks and I'm just gonna go ahead and get another layer. I have a lot of hyperpigmentation on my face and you can still kind of see it. So we're gonna go in with another layer. So it's like one layer to get it like the skin that you want it to be, and then another layer to kind of like hide everything because now you can see everything's kind of. Then we're gonna go back in with our fluffy brush And we're just gonna go ahead and kind of like blend this out just a little bit. It's starting to come together. Next, we're gonna go in with our powders. So now I'm going back in with my Huda Beauty. So remember, she was what we used first. And I lightly tapped it on my wrist. And we're just gonna go in and we're going to like basically like press that powder into our face. The one thing I like about the Huda Beauty powder is I feel like it really just like hides your pores. I always have like the little holes right here, and I feel like whenever I use the Huda Beauty, it always blurs out the little pores and holes that are in there. Then I'm gonna go ahead and set it. So we're gonna go ahead and use like a heavier layer. I do feel like the Huda Beauty does a really great job of not giving you flashback. I really haven't had that. I used to have that with Laura Mercier, but I don't have that a lot with this one. So we're gonna use this one to define our jawline, of course, and we're also going to use it to take away our smile lines. We're gonna look real crazy for just a little bit, but don't worry, it's temporary. So we have our jawline defined. Then we're just gonna go ahead and make sure that we don't get smile lines for the rest of the night. So the way that you do that is you just take some powder and you're gonna go where your smile lines will be, and you're gonna basically bake that. Another place that you're gonna bake, and I know it's a lot of baking, another place that we're going to bake is our eyebrows, because we don't want glowy, shiny eyebrows that look like they're from the 90s. We don't want that. So right now, do we look a little crazy? Yes. Is it gonna be worth it? Okay, so while I'm typically baking, I like to go in with one of these little angled brushes, and I like to go ahead and get like my under eye, and I just kind of like to add the bronzer just to kind of bring in this look and this look together. We're going to take our mascara and we're gonna go ahead and just do our bottom lash. I would love to get like lashes so I don't have to do this, but I just don't think that I would maintain it. And to be completely honest, this is my least favorite part of makeup. I really want to look into the science of why I have to open my mouth to do this. I think that's good. I don't want to overdo it. Then we are going to go in with the Sephora Micro Smooth or Micro something powder. And we're going to go ahead and just like as much as you want, okay? She does not tell anybody that you use too much. And for me, it's like the more the merrier. So I'm just taking this round fluffy brush, making sure all of those harsh lines from defining my jaw go away. And then you also just want to set your foundation. So you can use this to set your foundation, and we're gonna use this to kind of like move everything off of our face. You can still see my hyperpigmentation, but honestly, I don't care about that just because like at the end of the day, it's skin. And if I take this makeup off, you're gonna see hyperpigmentation. And I kind of, if I'm trying to do like an everyday look, you know, to make it look like I'm wearing makeup but no makeup, I gotta show the imperfections. Next, I'm going to take the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish something, but I saw Molly Magic use it, and anything that she uses on her clients, I'm using. It will be in the description, and it is right there. And this is just to kind of like brighten your under eyes, so you want to set your under eyes, of course, like when you bake, and then you also want to go in with like a pressed powder, just to make sure that there's no creasing. And that's also just going to brighten it. Go back in with your fluffy brush. I'm not gonna bake this, but go back in with your fluffy brush and just wipe it away. Right. I'm going to go back in with the same brush that I used for the cream bronzer. I don't know, something about making this face just makes me feel like I'm doing what needs to be done. And because I just sprayed my lace, I'm gonna go ahead and just go in and do the nose part first before I go there. The only thing I really focus on putting like a lot is where I make the button, because I need you to see that my nose is as cute as a button. All right, so I'm gonna lift this up, and then we're gonna go. I cannot believe I glued this way too. Like, I'm not a big fan of my forehead, but I like to see forehead. Like, in this is bad. This is really bad. So sometimes when I do my bronzer, it'll create like this harsh line. So I just go in with the fluffy brush and I just kind of like, okay, looks a little better. Next, we're going to go and do our blush. So the blush that I'm using is a Makeup Forever. I've actually had this forever, no pun intended, but it looks like this. And honestly, I swear to Bob, I've had this forever. So because I'm doing like a daytime, like nighttime, I kind of like to just dab in both. And I like a lot of blush on the nose too, because I like that look too. Like, I like the latte look, and then I like the it's cold outside baby look. Like, all these looks, I'm just combining them together, to be completely honest. I don't really have much of this, so I'm praying to God that this lasts. This is the NYX Line Loud lip pencil in the shade Rebel Kind. And then I kind of feel like that looks really good. Bit of honey. But I think I'm gonna use this like bit of honey, just to kind of give it, like, it's gonna be too. That looks good. We're just gonna put her in the center. That NYX Rebel Kind, it just goes with everything. I'm gonna go ahead and add some gloss. So this is the Fenty Heat gloss. So that way we can give it that like summer look. Okay, so we added the gloss, and this is the final look. Don't forget to check out the inspiration photo for this outfit and this look today. So what I did is I went ahead, first of all, she's making it work. So what I did is I went ahead and went with a white bodysuit, and then I have these jeans. These jeans are from Zara. Look pretty good. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment your favorite part of this video, and subscribe if you feel compelled to. Other than that, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.